Is it visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Unit in your unit 2, we normally try to understand what is company's mission, vision, what is company's goal and objectives. Then we'll try to identify what is environment and what is environmental analysis. After that, we'll talk about different process of SWOT analysis. Now, first of all, think about what is mission, vision, goal, objective. These are 4 basic words which are correlated with each other. Mission, vision, goal, objective. These are 4 different words, but these are highly collaborated with each other, interrelated with each other, whatever you can say. Right. So let me first try to give you a short, description about what is mission, vision, goal, objective. I will cite an example. Fine. The example is if someone is thinking about an industry of supply chain. Fine. So try to identify if you're really looking forward to understand what is mission, vision, goal, objective. Before that, one has to try to identify what are the complications, what are the issues, or you can say what are the challenges that one can face for the supply for a particular industry who is preparing specifically some electronics product. So according to you, what are the major challenges a company has to face if a company is preparing some of particularly electronical product? Give me 5 points. Give me 5 points. What are the basic issues? What are the basic threats? Or you can say that what are the basic challenges that a company has to face if he is being preparing a product which is called a electronics product.
That must be technically updated.
It must be technically updated. Okay. So that is a challenge. Okay. Anyone else?
To beat the rivalry.
Okay. To fight against the rivalry. So that means you have to be prepare yourself to fight against the competition or competitive
pricing.
Competitive price. That is one more word I can add to that. That is called price war. Competitive pricing means price war. Okay. So if someone will ask quality maintenance, very good. Quality maintenance. If someone will ask me a same question, I will go to first the root of this particular, case. The root is supply chain. Now, if some particular industry in India who wants to make a electronics product, so first challenge that he has to face, that is, raw material dependency. Raw material of the all electronics product will be supplied by China to India. It is since a very long time. Fine. So it is, one can say that it is called supply dependency. So if China doesn't want to supply, then your whole raw material supply of this, electronical industry being collapsed. That is the first channel, that is called raw material dependency, which is most probably dependent on a different country. So import dependency, you can say that. So, particular word, I can say import dependency, which is most probably to another country, which is not probably very much have a socially, good with us. That so we do have a social war, not about the financial and trade wars. China social war achi. So first challenge as for my understanding, that maybe import dependency. Second one, you can say that after import dependency, the second challenge one a company has to face, that is called foreign exchange challenge. If the currency is falling down or maybe upgraded, so whatever budget you have finalized for to make a import or to bring the raw materials from a different country. So that maybe make a huge, change if the foreign reserves are being changed. Got it? If the foreign reserves change, that means currency denomination re gote huge changes asila foreign reserves re. Then maybe someone will see a very high range of risk on base of your profit and loss, whatever you have made a profit loss account, that might be face a large number of deficiency. Your leverage decreases, your cost effectiveness decreases, so it will create a huge challenge for the organization. What else? Then you can say one of you are saying that quality maintenance. Yes, if you not provide qualitative product to the people, then might be people will not buy the product. The consumers will not buy the product. So whatever raw materials are being provided by the China, how trustworthy? That's a major question when we're talking about quality control. It is also a major challenge. That is to how to control the quality. This is the third one. Fourth one, when you manufacture your product at India base level and you have to sell that into open market operations, you have to fight against a competitive rivalry. In that competition, you can see the rivalry, you can see the price war, you can see the advertisement possibilities. So these are include with the commercialization of the product at the Indian market. So you could see that particular challenge. What is the fifth challenge, Pilamani? If these are the four different challenges what I discussed, what is the fifth challenge? You understood? Well, like this maybe a respect question for your examination. Upon the examination report, ABC company, how he will prepare himself to face against different environmental challenges of the present market. Give justify the statement with the suitable example. Now what do you have to write? Now tame the first semester sorry gala na, it is second semester ticket difficult questions asibo, where you have to implement, where you have to identify with your own understanding of the subjects. So in that particular criteria, how to write an answer, that is what I am just giving you example. Now the last and the most difficult part is sustainability. Right? If you produce good products, if you produce not only good products, a good product with an average price, and your commercial market and inventories are open their doors for your products, that means whenever people have a demand, the product is available in the market. If all these are being there, then maybe you could able to have your product could be have a sustainability. Otherwise, it is difficult to sustain. Buchi paruchandi? Are Pilamani, there is no answer.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
This is what if a real case study came for a supply chain or a electronical manufacturing organization, what he has faced, the different challenges, then you have to start from the raw material, not from the commercial market re jo rivalry achi setu apna start karibeni. First hela tara import dependency, second hela the different regimes of the foreign exchange reserves. So if foreign exchange reserves or kichi changes so how it is being affect your cost management system, capital management system, or maybe you can say that expenditure system, how it is make a impact to that. Third one, if there is a quality, then you have to think about how to maintain a good quality with a minimum price so that Indian population can buy. Third challenge है commercial market रे जैसे अपन को product associate when it is launched in the commercial market, what are the basic challenges that you have to face? So that challenges may be rivalry, maybe that is price war, maybe the bargaining power of the inventories or suppliers, or maybe that is substitute products available, or maybe that is, bargaining power of the customers who wants really looking forward for the offers, allowances, coupons, and etc. And the last challenge is how to make sustain in a competitive environment where every day we will see different kind of products, different kind of services, new innovations. So in that particular time period, how to sustain. Bujila, this is what a real life case study if someone will ask a question. But from that also we can draw the company's mission, vision, goal, objective. Now, what is the goal? Goal is the short term, end product of a particular company. Good company goal kon goal hela gote short term, like gote year what exactly you want to achieve in the year of 2020 2023 and 2024. So what is the objective of your organization, or how to achieve that goal for the year 2020 or 2023 and 2024? But say vision vision is long term, where we can say that what is your vision for the 2020 to 2023 to 2027? So this is 5 years. So what is your vision for this particular time period or particular time lap? So that means what goal hela gote barso jotela me end product decide kochu, we have to decide the end product of every year. So when we will try to identify our goal of every year, and when that goals are being combined with each other, we could able to find out the vision. Now ame dekhina sarkarankara 5 barshiya vision, sarkarankara 10 barshiya vision. Ta mane kono 10 ବର୍ଷ ପରେ ସରକାର କଣ ଚାହୁଁଛନ୍ତି? ସରକାର ଚାହୁଁଛନ୍ତି ଓଡିଶାରେ ଗୋଟେ ମେଟ୍ରୋର କନେକ୍ଟିଭିଟି ହଉ, and that is the vision of Mr. Patnaik, Mr. Naveen Patnaik, that is for 5 years vision. 5 ବର୍ଷ ଭିତରେ ଓଡିଶାରେ ବହୁତ ଜାଗାରେ ମେଟ୍ରୋର କନେକ୍ଟିଭିଟି ହେଇଯିବ. Why? To enhance the transportation system. ବୁଝି ହଉଛି? So that is called Mukhyamantri of Odisha or Chief Minister of Odisha have a 5 years vision. But to achieve that 5 years vision, you have to deal with the 1 year goal. So first year, which pathway has to be created? Which route has to be initiated first? Which route initiated in second? Which route in the second year? Which route has to be initiated in third year? And which route has to be initiated in the fourth year? So combination of these 5 different goals is become the vision. You understood? Ebe buchi parle goal kon, vision kon. Ebe asantu objective. Now what is objective? Objective are the short term planning which will combine to make goal. So mo day to day activity re kon achieve karibi. So taku jetale when I will combine that, it will reflected as goal. Now came to what is mission. Now you must heard about a picture Mission Impossible or Mission, I think Mission Impossible. So mission, what is mission? Mission is the pathway, that innovation through which one could have to achieve the vision. Mission hela se jo pathway, kon kariki mu vision ku achieve karibi, mu mor goal ku achieve karibi. So se jo pathway hela, that pathway is called mission. Ebe bujhi parle what is this 4 different terms? One is called your goal, then objective. Objective is completely short term. Then came goal. Goal is little bit long term, you can say that, or combination of goals, objectives, you can say this is goal. Then Ashila mission, how to achieve a long term long term planning of our organization, that is vision. Taku kemti achieve karibe na mission through achieve karibe. टर्म्स गुडा क्लियर हो गला. जदि आपन को भी बही पाठ न मन पड़ुची, टर्म्स गुडा को भी लिखि किना वन कैन राइट व्हाट इज कंपनीज मिशन, विजन एंड गोल एंड ऑब्जेक्टिव एंड हाउ टू अचीव इट. ठीक अछि? इट्स ओके?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now we will came to the content. Content say that why I have given that example in the first of your class, when class starts, mo tamu gote example deithili. Example dabar basic reason hala जो mission, those mission has to identify, or always remember, mission has to be worked through the different challenges. Upon the mission draw karuchanti, upon the mission activities draw karuchanti, first you have to identify the challenges for your organization. What are the basic and different challenges that an organization has to face, and how to deal with that. And if there is a there is something very difficult situation, then one should have to avoid this, or one should have to go along with the practices and face that particular problems or issues or challenges. That is also a part of mission identification. Fine. Now came to the content part. Strategic intent, जो हमें चार्टा पढ़ुचु तो हमें strategic intent भी कहूचु. Strategic intent is a leveraging of a firm's internal resources, which make capabilities and core competency to accomplish the firm's vision, mission, objective in a competitive environment. It is all about winning competitive battles and gaining leadership position by putting organizational resources to best use. So that means what? Whatever we will do, that is for the sustainability and that is for the market, become the market leader. So one cannot become market leader without sustainability, without profit, without maximum number of maximum number of if you do not have maximum number of market share also, you cannot be the market leader. So you have to identify your goals, you have to identify your short-term objective or specific objectives, which has to be finished with a pathway, and identify a broad vision for your organization. That is very essential. And once you identify a broad vision, you have to achieve that through the mission statements. So this is what the route to identify, to achieve, and to go through a particular route. For what? For sustainability, for profit, for become a brand in the market. Fine. Now came to this particular hierarchy. If you see, this is what the hierarchy. Hierarchy says that we have a we have a particular if you see the slide says of basic pyramid. Is it visible? Clearly visible? Pyramid ta dekhucho. So what the pyramid says that first of all, we think about the plans, then we will identify with these short-term goals, then we will have to identify certain objectives so that we will achieve our goals. Then we'll have to identify our basic mission or the pathway through which we could able to reach to the vision. Now if you came to this red arrow mark, look to this red arrow mark. What the red arrow mark says? The plans are most specific. And when we reach to the top vision, it is most integrative. Now, what do you understood by most specific to it a most integrative aduku jauchu? Plans are very specific. Fine. Jemti ki nahi janto what I'll have to do today, what I'll have to do tomorrow, what I'll have to do day after tomorrow. That has to be very specific. But what I'll do on the end of this month, that is integrative. Fine. Saturday more changes he pare jadi moro e jo plans re change ho rahi. Like I have planned that on July 30 I will visit to Delhi, and for that I'll have to make my plan from today onwards. But the specific plans, if I'm not able to reach to the end, product on 29th, I decided no, my work is not yet over, so I'll need some more time. So I'll have to postpone my work up to 6th. So I will go to this, Delhi, that is 6th on August. So most integrative means it can be changed. It can be changed on base of the time lap. It is being changed with the based on what exact plans you have made. If there is any interference of the external environment, if any disturbance in the internal environment, so it can be changed with a little bit change of the change of the life time span or the work design or plan design. So it may be changed, but plan can't be changed. It is very specific. Even in goals are specific, objectives are also very specific. So that is why, plans to everyday planning karanti. Everyday planning has to give you a clear idea of what I have to do very specifically. Now came to the vision. What is vision? The word vision is serves as backward and forward in history. Just one thing has fired in imagination of the people, a vision of future that promises to right today's wrong. So a graphic image of a time when injustice, improvisation, and will have to disappear. Now you have to use this vision of a land of milk and honey to motivate his people to set off for the promised land. India's freedom fighter, if you used to understood, used to vision for a country which are free from the any cardinal rulers of the West. So in the corporate context, visions refers to a inspirational picture of a future that can be created, offering clarity amidst confusions, hope against despair, and unity of purpose amidst diversity of the personal causes. So what is vision? Vision is something what will be we reach after a certain time period. That is very essential to know. So vision, like this particular statement says that when we are not in condition, we are suppressed by the East India Company, the population of India always thinking about, always dreaming about how to become free. So how to achieve freedom. So how to be free from the colonial rulers of the West. So that is very essential to make a dream. So vision is something, or vision is not different from a dream where I will reach after a certain time period. That is a dream. Fine. So when we're talking about this particular dream is being dreamed by some of the corporate houses, the dream is, the vision refers to an inspirational picture of future. So where I will reach in the future, that is my dream. But how to achieve that? Because I'm a corporate house, I cannot only dream, I'll have to achieve that. So how to achieve my dream? So how to, clear my confusions about my dream? How to achieve the diversity of my dream? And how to turn that dream into the opportunities and into the profit in the general scenario? That is very essential to know. Now, what is vision state? Vision says it will have some particular features. Vision has to be very clear. So, 5 ବର୍ଷ ପରେ या तो फिर 10 ବର୍ଷ ପାଇଁ ଆପଣ ଯଦି କିଛି dream ଦେଖୁଛନ୍ତି, it should not be haphazard. It has to be very specific, very clear. The clarity has to be 100%. Otherwise, as a corporate house, if you fail, it will came along with a huge kind of a loss for your organization. Got it? So whenever you try to identify a vision and whenever you want to draw a vision, you have to make your research and development. You have to make a very impactful research so that you have to identify, yes, this is what the vision after 10 years I could able to stand over this particular position. Got it? So your vision has to be very clear. So came along with the first feature, that is called clarity. Then came to the second one, that is reachable or achievable. So what dreams for the corporate organization I dreamed as the owner of that corporate house, that has to be very realistic. Reachable mane kono, achievable mane kono, jota realistic that I could able to achieve. If something is non-realistic, so how can I achieve that? So realistic means it is reachable or achievable. Yesterday from in TV there is a news came that after like 50 years there is a submarine who could identify some of the parts of the Titanic ships. So that means what? Titanic ship is a realistic, realistic story. It is really a ship which has been lost in a sea. and there are large number of stories which are behind that particular Titanic ship. So that's why some of the researchers still wants to identify what are the story behind this particular ship. What happened to that ship? Why in a very hugely populated ship was being lost in a in a sea? So that's some of the curiosity which can create research and development. And dekho, tomar kalina pordina news re asila, yes, some of the parts now recovered. So that means what? Whatever mission, whatever visions are being identified by you, that has to be realistic. That is realistic haba darkar. Only realistic can be achievable, can be reachable. Then brevity. Brevity means you have to be that brave to at least run with your organization for 10 years. So that has to be brevity. Then building a vision. You have to building a vision with the short-term goals. Apan prati tharaka chinta karantu apan kon short-term goals identify karibe so that you could able to achieve your or you could able to build your visions. So that is called building a vision with a short-term identification of goals. So one person, if I will dream about my corporate house and I will try, it is not possible to eventually got my end product. So everyone from my organization, everyone from my corporate house has to make some particular effort to achieve the shared visions. Strategic gains and definitions of visions. That means what if you make a good strategy to achieve the vision, end of the day you could able to achieve it. Now basic elements of the vision statement. What are the basic elements of the vision statement? See to this. These are combination of three basic elements. Kon basic elements the combination rame vision kochu. First one, the first element is organizational fundamental reasons for existence beyond just making money. Second one is timeless, unchanging core values. The core values define the enduring characters of the organizations that remain unchanged as it experiences changes in technology, competitions, marketing styles, and management styles, etc. Third, Kochi Kono, huge, adequate, but achievable aspirants for its futures. So these are three basic elements. I will try to exhibit one by one. First one, if you only looking forward forward to making money, so might be it is a wrong concept to be successful in a long run. If you someone will only think about making money, so have you heard about a particular concept of myopia? Myopia is a concept that is combined with only making money. That means what? If you produce a product, the product is must be a short-term product. Product has to be came along with a very minimum price, but the durability is very less. So here we will only talk about creating money. Now, when it is creating money, you could not able to become a brand. Upon jodi myopia concept re jauchandi, khali matte paisa baneibar achi, that is called myopia concept. Then you could not able to reach to a particular brand. Upon brand porjanta pahunchi paribeni. So fundamental reason of existence beyond just making money is called wealth. Creating wealth with the customers. So wealth means your brand image, your market, your selling aspects, the relationship with the customers, profitable and non-profitable. These are all carries a very high range of understanding and importance in comparison to money. Yes, making money might be one of the prime objective, but this is not only one focus point. Got it? So that is the first, element of the vision statement. Second, Kochi, it was timeless, unchanging core value. The core values define enduring characters of an organization to remain unchanged as an experience changes with technology, competition, management style, etc. So, apankara vision ta change habani. Your core values, your core vision statement has to be unchanged for the appeal achievement. But what's to change? Change is mandatory in technology because the whole, business organization change with the change of technology. Change in competition. So that means you have to introduce some of the basic innovations, how to deal with the high competition. Yes, management style also changes. Fine. बहुत गुड़े changes अभी देखो आगुरु हमर थिला autocratic style of ओबी रे आपण पढिथिले autocratic style, that is called कोन ना आपण को higher authority आपण power देखि कि काम करिवो आज power देखि काम करि परिवो higher authority no. Now the things are being changed. Now we will talk about the collegials model. Collegials model माने समस्तको नै कि आपण चलंतु. You cannot say that I will show the power and people will work under me. There are so many organizations you count in hand. If there is an autocratic model, people leave the organization and go away from that organization to join another organization where you are not having any autocratic system. So management style be change होची, but ये changes through रे भी आपण को vision statement को identify करिवे and vision statement को achieve करिवे. And the last one is one has to identify or achieve the aspiration for future. So what is the aspiration of future that you have to identify? Kon aspiration rohuchi future ro, how you will see the future, how you have to achieve, that is also the third essential statement of the mission statement. Now came to vision statement. Now came to mission. Now according to the Thomson, the mission is identified as the mission reflects the essential purpose of the organization concerning particularly why it is in existence, the nature of businesses it is in, and the customers it seeks to serve and satisfy. So what is exactly the definition of mission? The definition of mission says that the mission is an enduring statement of the purpose that distinguishes one business firm to similar firms. It identifies the scope of the operation in product and market. It implies the image that firm seeks to project and reflect the values of priority of the firm's strategic decisions. So this is what called the mission. So mission mission says that one has to reflect the essential purpose of the organization concerning particular why it is existence. So what are the essential purpose of the organization? The essential purpose of the organization might be making profit, might be creating a good brand image amongst the customers, might be deal with the highly competitive environment. So these are some of the essential purpose of the organization when we are talking about to satisfy the customers, to serve the customers, and to become the existence or sustainability in the competitive market. So it is also that means when we're talking about mission is the pathway to achieve your object visions and long-term visions. Now, or you can say that mission is a supporting system. It will create a support to achieve your end product. Okay? Now came to what are the basic elements that is required for this mission. Mission has to be clear, or clarity is the first feature. Second one, it has to be broad and enduring. Broad kahingi because if any point of time you have to change the mission, then it has to be affordable, allowed, fine. So that's why it is called broad and enduring. Identity and image is highly essential. Mission has to be very realistic in nature, has to be very specific in nature. Value and belief and philosophy has to be included in the missions. So these are some of the features of the mission. Now came to the next, that was called what is objective and goals. Now objectives, what is objective? You must all have a little bit information about objective. Objective kaun pila mane? And it is a very it is a term which is oftenly used by all of us, like my objective of my studies. Why you will study? My objective of to become namely,
Objective means purpose.
it is only the purpose.
Short-term plan to execute.
Okay, short-term plan to
Execute.
To achieve the goal.
execute, to achieve the goal.
Ma'am, this is also specify and measurable the result of your
Yeah,
goal.
definitely it has to be specific.
And measurable of the result. I mean, what you have just goal set.
And the measurement of
Measurement of hopes and maintain your organization growth.
Acha, okay. Now, what is exactly objective? When we're talking about what is objective, it indicates the result that an organization will expect. That means a hypothetical result, what you required. A hypothetical result. You don't know whether the result is yes or no, but you take a hypothesis that a result is yes. And on base of that hypothesis, you have to work. बुझी आपण जानी नांती कि मोर hypothetical result. That means I assumed a result, and on base of that assumption, I will try to work. So it is also a future activity. When we are identified with the objective or goal, eguda hela apankar future activity, and these activities are identified with some hypothetical results. Now, what is hypothetical result? Hypothetical results is always called as assumed result. We do not have any identification and understanding about the result, but we hypothetically identified this is going to be the end end goal of my organization for 1 year, and taku base karki sei jo hypothesis ko base karki apankara kama aram karanti. So on base of that, as desire of that hypothetical end product, you have to work very sincerely. Just a minute, Pilavan. Okay. So this is what called the objective. Objective are those hypothetical results which are assumed by us, and we try to achieve that with some short-term planning and all. So role of objectives are serves with the following functions. That is called, it is came along with the legitimacy, directions, coordinations, benchmark for success, and motivations. So legitimacy, why it is legitimacy? Because it has to follow all the rules and regulations which is being prescribed either from company law, if it is a company, or from the judiciary systems, or if it is any financial institution, then we have to follow the objective have to follow the rules regulation of the financial authorities like RBI, SEBI, and IRDA of India. If not, then you have to go for to identify which particular rules regulation that you have to follow. So that means what you have to follow the rules and regulation which is being provided by a particular authority. Then the objectives are serves with a direction. So you have to find out exact direction. Then you have to go along with to achieve this particular end product. It has to be achieved through coordination. If you are not coordinated with each other, then one cannot achieve it. Then benchmark of success. That means what you have to find out certain benchmark of the success, and you have to motivate to achieve these objectives and goals. Got it? So came to the some of the basic characteristics of objective. What characteristics of objective? Objective forms a hierarchy. Objective forms a network. It is have a multiplicity or multiplicity of the objectives. Long-term and short-term objectives are the most appropriate objective to work in. Now, this is what the four terms. Now we will talk about the environmental analysis. Now, what is an environment? What do you understood by an environment? If I will ask this question of very, into anyone, he must be say, environment. Environment is something which is called the surrounding, right? But when we're talking about what is environment or business environment, or in a professional study, if I will try to exhibit what is environment. So environment is defined as the combination of certain forces or factors which will affect the organizational activities, which can create hurdle, which can support the organization to achieve its end product. Okay, so that is called environment, which comprise of certain internal and external factors. So these internal and external factors create a kind of effect on your business activities. So that maybe affect your business on a certain different ways. Like he could these factors can create a hurdle for your organization, or can be support to your organization to run your business to achieve your end product. So that is called an environment. Now, when we're talking about environmental analysis, it is essential to identify the environment if you're really looking forward to create a good vision and to make a good plan, that is mission. To achieve your vision, you have to identify and understood the environment. Jodi apan gote business organization re gote end product identify karchanti for 5 years. So that means your end product is called vision, and you also make a pathway to achieve that. Apan mission be identify karichanti. But how to identify if you're not making the environmental analysis? If you're not making environmental analysis, though, then you could not able to identify certain challenges, certain problems, certain issues that could be, create a hurdle for your organization. And also, if there is any opportunities, any support you can run from the environment, that is also required to identify. So that's why environmental analysis is a very essential point to discuss. Now, what is exactly the environment of business? The environment of business is the aggregate condition, events, and influences that surround and affect the business organization. Since the organization is a part of broader social system, it has to work within the framework provided by the society and its innumerable constituencies. So, the business organizations has to play a kind of a role where they are bordered with their, they are under some social integration and social system. So organization is not away from that social integration and social system, and whatever framework the organizations and the corporate houses are being drawn, that is has to be followed all social dilemmas, all social system rules and regulations, which is eventually very essential. So that's why environmental analysis is essential. Now came to this is what we'll talk about the features of environment. So there are three basic features of environment we'll identify. One is environment is very complex in nature. Why it is complex? Because it comprises of various things like various multifarious events, factors, conditions, which influence the environment from time to time from various sources. So that's why it is always become a very complex set of, or complex in nature. So there are various changes every day we see in terms of, rules, regulation, technology, in terms of, socialism, in terms of culturalism, in terms of economic in terms of legal parts. So when we saw a change in environment, that means what? A constant change. So that means it is complex and dynamic both. So complex means the change create a problem to run your business. So that's why it is something we called as very much complex, very much difficult. Now why we call dynamic in nature? Dynamic means a constant change. That means you cannot avoid that change. So dynamism means it is change, and this dynamism came with the technology. This dynamism also came with the government regulations. This dynamism also brings with the came along with the competitive forces. This dynamism came along with the very much competition what we see in the market. This dynamism came along with the change of rules and regulations in the legislations. So this dynamism has to be beared by the organizations. You can't go away from that. Like your VAT is changed to GST, every organization has to follow it. You cannot say that I will not follow. Like one of the major initiation of the government is like 20G, that is called Future of India, that is called the Vasudeva Kutumbakam. One of the major project of India, that is called Vasudeva Kutumbakam, which is initiated by the government since last 10 years. And it says that global platform has to be open for each and every particular organization who wants to become the MNC. So this is the platform. So egudala kona dynamism of government 20G. It is the dynamism of government. So apan ko ଯେତେବେଳେ ଏଟା implement ହଉଛି ଧୀରେ ଧୀରେ, this 20G Vasudeva Kutumbakam, these are the most initiated forms of Indian government. ଯେତେବେଳେ ଏଟା initiated ହଉଛି government through ରେ, as a business organization you have to bear it. Where to go? ଆପଣ କୁଆଡେ ଯିବେ ଯଦି initiative ନେଉଛି government, ଆପଣ ତାକୁ ମାନିବାକୁ ବାଧ୍ୟ. So maybe you do not have that resources, you do not have that efficiency, that's a different thing. ଆପଣ ସେ efficiency generate କରିବେ, ଆପଣ adapt କରିବେ. ମୁଁ ଆର ଗୋଟେ simple example ଦଉଛି. ଏବେ ଆପଣଙ୍କର ଯଦି ଆପଣ graduation କେବେ pass କରିଥିଲେ, ମୁଁ ତ ବହୁ ପୂର୍ବରୁ pass କରିଛି in 2000 I did my graduation. ଆପଣ ମାନେ ତ ଏବେ କେବେ pass କରିଥିବେ. ଏବେ ଆପଣ ଦେଖିବେ graduation syllabus is now changed to skill based syllabus. Fine. So skill based syllabus means ଯଦି 5ଟା paper ଅଛି, 3ଟା paper theory, 2ଟା paper ହେଲା ଆପଣଙ୍କ practical skills. So changes are there, everyday change hochi. So dynamism is came along with the change of technology, change of regulations, change of competitive forces. So you have to adapt it. Apan koi paribeni je bhai change hochi mu adapt karibini. So if you are not adapt, you will just throw from the environment out by the system. Now came to the last one, that is called challenging. Now, whatever changes are there, that is challenge to any organization, whatever complexities are there, that challenging to every organization, isn't it? It is a challenge to all organizations, that is complexity and dynamism. The firms are impacted by political, legal, economical, technological, and social system and trends. Together, these elements comprise of microenvironment of the business firms. And because these forces are so dynamic, their constant change represent merit opportunities and threats or constraint to strategic managers. So ଯେମିତି ମୁଁ ତମକୁ class ଆରମ୍ଭରେ ଗୋଟେ example ଦେଇଥିଲି, if someone wants to make a electronical manufacturing unit, what are the challenges he has to face? And first ମୁଁ ତମକୁ କହିଥିଲି, the first challenge that person has to face, that is import dependency, because the all electronical raw materials are being imported by the China. It is imported from the China. So that is the first issue or first challenge came to you to face. So and so as to, there is a social war is going in between the India and China. So that is a border issue, that is a war issue, or whatever social issues are there. And still you have an import dependency. So what you have to do, you have to go for the multiple import and assemblance of the variations. That means what? I mean, gotte country ru kahinki import karuchu. If we'll try to exhibit with other country, if you'll try to communicate with the other country who also provide the resources or raw materials to create technological products or electronical products. If we could able to extend our diversity, then ए जो import dependency ta zero ହେଇଯିବ। ମୋ କଥା ବୁଝି ପାରୁଛନ୍ତି? So when you are facing a challenge, whether it is a challenge of political, whether it is a challenge of legal system, whether it is a challenge of economical system, whether it is a challenge of social system or technological system, you have to think about diversity. You have to think about variations, variety, and more involvement of large number of requirements or large number of suppliers, so that ଆପଣଙ୍କର जो dependency ଯଦି ଆପଣଙ୍କର ସରି ଯାଉଛି, dependency ଯଦି ରହୁନି, or you can say that the foreign reserves, if the foreign reserves is another particular issue, ताहले भी आपण जदी different countries रू आपण import करूचंदी similar kind of raw materials, ताले जो country रो currency values आम सहित काफी पाखा पाखी रहउची, matching रहउची, हम से country रो product आनिबा, so raw materials import करिबा, so that we do not have to face or face the foreign exchange issues or challenges. Got it? So this is what called environmental features, which can create a issue, which can create a challenge to run your business at the competitive platform. Sometimes this complex dynamism and challenge also supports you. So eporjanto buchi parlo pila mane? You're clear, very clear?
Again.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So next is what is business environment, and there are different forms of the business environment. Jemtiki business environment is being divided into internal environment and external environment. If you see in this particular figure, so this is what called internal environment. This is what called internal environment. Internal environment consists of value system, mission and objectives, organizational structure, corporate cultures, quality of human resource, labor unions, physical resources and technological capacities. We will discuss this in the next class. And what is external environment? The external environment further divided into micro and macro environment. In micro environment, we have organization, customers, competitions, market suppliers, market suppliers and intermediaries. So whereas in the macro environment, we have economic environment, political and legal environment, we have technological environment, global environment, socio-cultural environment, and demographic environment. So why this particular slide is there? If you see, we will study environmental analysis, fine? So this is one we have to study. Now we have to understand and analyze this portion. We have to analyze this portion, and how the business will analyze all these things and run his own business in the platform. That is, we will study in the next class. Next class, rame padiba components of the environment, how the environmental scanning was made, what are the basic way to make the environmental scanning. Eguda suba mein next class re padiba. Okay. So what about aji bahut pila kom acho? Most probably 100 plus pila thanti. Aji Sunday manouchand pila mane.
About that.
Okay, sir is here.
Sorry,
So, hello. Okay, sir is here. I'm leaving the meeting, and all the best. Thank you.
Okay,
Thank
thank
you,
you,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.